Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. In the last episode, we got the outflow of the sewage treatment plant built, and it flushed out the sewage. It's not affecting the intake on this too badly. So that's fine. We're of course trying to stay ahead of our money as always. Went ahead and decided to add in an incinerator over here because we're gonna kind of need it, I think. This is an incinerator power plant. No, it's gonna need a power connection, and we're gonna want to splice that power connection in past this switch. So we're gonna have to do that. So we'll look into doing that. Not a high priority right now. The big issue is that we are having some pretty heavy monthly expenses due to massive amounts of steel imports, because building this oil field is consuming a lot of steel to build all of this piping. A lot of steel. And so trying to stay ahead of those import costs right now is pretty rough. But, I mean, and I mentioned before, I could get ahead of it. I could deal with it by basically just shutting down all construction and kind of letting my loans pay down for a while, but I'm not really interested in doing that. I want to get the rails over here. Well, this rail finished. These rail connections finished. I want to get this built. Maybe we'll hold off on this project. Unable to get clothes is showing up. Now, that might not be a problem. I was spot checking to make sure that there was clothes showing up. Everywhere it should. And it is. So I don't think it's a big problem. Lifespan change is good. Our population is rising once again. So we are definitely pulling out. Of this stagnation area here. So that's good. So hopefully get all the buildings filled up. Yep, you're not going to be able to participate in any sports during the winter months when it's too cold. Building closed due to bad weather, it says. I mean, putting in a little indoor pool might not be a bad idea, but... do we have any rail constructors? Well, one is heading out. Alright, I think one of the things that I might actually start doing here is start working on this. I wish I could see how much steel has been delivered and what the demand is. But as I said before, even if I completely shut down all construction, we're still going to have a lot of cost because we have to refill this open storage because we're short almost 200 tons of steel. And that ain't gonna be cheap. Let's go ahead and cycle these guys through. Loyalty seems too low. Yeah, that's basically the only messages that we're getting. $43,000, that's not bad. $52,000 worth of bitumen. Now, one thing I could do. How critical are you right now? Not bad. Is the truck that is supplying this? Let's see. Okay, so you're picking up here. You're dropping off there, and then there. And then coming back. Okay. Yeah, okay. Do we have... You're 100%. You're 100%. You're 99%. %. 69%. One thing that would also be nice is if I could oh, man. If I could prioritize... like, or manually... The whole, like, you must wait a year before you can repair something. I'm not so thrilled about that concept. I should be able to override it and basically say, no, you go get repaired now. In my opinion. And I think that these high wear vehicles should be able to be repaired. What I would be okay with is making them more expensive to repair. So requiring more materials to actually fix them. The higher their wear gets and the older the vehicle is, I think that makes sense. But just, nope, you can't do anything with them. I don't know. Not exactly a fan of that mechanic, but, you know, we deal with it. How are things looking over here? Okay, so that's almost done. So that would, and oh, that's actually built. Without power supply. Well, yeah, because the power distribution is not built yet. This guy. Alright. Let's go ahead and start to figure out what our power off of here would be. Right. If we do any power changes, it's going to have to be beyond that switch, as I said. So, I think it would make sense to maybe break... Not that. To break that line there. Get a demolition office on it. High priority, please. And then we'll come back in and specify a switch. I mean, I could go ahead and do that now. I know we just hit 0. Now the question is... Can't build building due to infrastructure. Yeah, because it's still saying that there's infrastructure there. Alright, yeah, we'll wait until that gets built. Oh my goodness, okay. I know the more loans I take out, the worse this gets. And then in reality, what I really should do is, yeah, shut everything down to only essential services and let my exports kind of claw back some of that. Hang on until this oil field is done. Then I might do that. Well, we're going to have to buy some trains. Get exports set up for the wood. Get exports set up for the oil. We'll get more oil pushed into here so that hopefully this oil refinery will output more fuel and bitumen, which will increase our exports there. And we could potentially just export the crude directly. Right? So I'm trying to hold out. I'm trying to hold out. These are unnecessary. I'm not going to add those into construction right now. Not quite handling this, but the 2,400 citizens. We're up to 884 workers with higher education. So that's, I think, an improvement. Is there like a statistic for that? I think this is the result of that population decline we had. But we do see a positive trend recently. Pretty sharp positive trend. So that's good. I don't know what happened here. Hopefully that continues. Yep, we're gonna hold another loan. Alright. Building is on fire. It is the heating plant is on fire. Oh, that's not good. Hopefully everybody's gonna have some, I guess, some hot water in the tanks. Alright, here come the fire trucks. There's the helicopter. Okay. What's your wear and tear, by the way? 16%. Alright, not bad. Let's look at... Oh. And there's always this situation. And so you need another flatbed. Yeah, actually, because you don't have any. Alright, open hull. We need one of these. They can hold 13 tons. There we go. Let's see. How are you guys doing? Alright. It's working. Now, the paving... You guys... You're working on unfinished footpaths. Where? Ah. Up there. Okay. Fair enough. But if you could add those roads in there as well. Because we basically have all the resources from home to make roads. Roads cost us nothing. And footpaths. As long as they don't have lights on them. Cost us nothing. We can make the gravel. We can make the concrete. We can make the asphalt. Yeah. From all locally sourced materials that... Alright, repair vehicle working for a repair station is busted. Alright. Because, of course, it is. Get a replacement. Yeah, nobody can participate in sports. That's a thing. Burst 150, deaths 106. I got a spike in deaths. Last month. I don't know why. And we start to see issues, workers without a job. Okay then. That means that we can do this. Get a couple of these wood cutting posts back up and working. These are going to need vehicles. We're not going to worry about those right now. One thing I might have to keep an eye on is wear and tear over here. It took a very long time to build this place. Yeah, we already have 37%, 41%. I saw a traffic jam. That is because there was a repair station vehicle repairing the excavator. That's why. It's holding up all the traffic. You are at 57%. You're at 46%. Oh, I don't really want to do this. But I need to bring both of those in for repairs. So those are major exporters. %, that's okay. 17%, that's perfectly fine. You're at 38%, you're getting close. What about these trains? %, not bad. And where's the box train? The boxcar train. What about this train? 51%. Okay, we're gonna have to think about doing that one as well. You're at 31%. Okay, you're okay. Yep, allow for repair. And allow for repair. Okay, that's not quite done. And it looks like you're going to go finish it. Excellent. Tenth of a ton of electrical components. Alright, so you were delivering steel. Alright, so that rail is finally done. Got a building on fire. Alright, that should be okay. We have a helicopter on the way. So even if the fire truck can't get there in a timely manner because of the snow, yep, we're there to drop some water. There we go. Alright, well, not a lot happened in this episode. Gotta get these trains repaired so they can get them back doing their job. I mean, we are gonna take a hit, but once they are back in operation, we're gonna get some pretty good exports at that point. Alright, well, we'll let it run. And we'll go ahead and end the episode here. Oh, hold on. Yep, go ahead. We'll deal with that real quick because we don't need a broken down forklift blocking our transfer of grain there. Okay. Alright, well for now, we'll stop here, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.